Hello friends, welcome to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the incredibly rich Star Trek universe. Well, I've just seen the new short trek called The Brightest Star. This time I'm not going to pretend I liked it, I'll be perfectly honest. It was the dumbest thing I have seen in a very long time. Dumber than the first Star Trek called Runaway, dumber than The Last Jedi, dumber than the Ghostbusters reboot, dumber than the Man of Steel movies. It's so dumb that I thought it was written by Alex Kurtzman, but nope. It was written by some talentless hacks who I'm pretty sure are on the writing team only because they are women. Seriously, I can't imagine why else would they hire them, because it certainly wasn't on merit. If you, for whatever reason, care about the gender of your employees instead of their talent and what they can bring to your team, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of female writers all over the world who are fully capable of writing good science fiction stories. I give you just two examples from the world of Trek, DC Fontana and Melinda Snodgrass. Both of them are women and extremely talented writers. Don't tell me you couldn't find any talented female writers for Discovery. You know how I try to do these videos without spoilers, at least usually? This one will be an exception because to explain you how bad this is, I unfortunately have to talk about the plot. This story takes place on the Kelpian planet and features, well, Kelpians. And here we have the first problem. Saru's makeup from Discovery never looked good, but here the Kelpian makeup looks just awful. They don't look like aliens, they look like humans with pieces of latex glued onto their heads. Is it because all of the light? I mean, Discovery was always extremely dark, so maybe the makeup always looked bad, we just never noticed it, because of the horrible cinematography on the regular show. I honestly don't know, but I have to say, there are Star Trek fan productions which have better looking aliens than this. So, what are the Kelpians like? Well, they are a bunch of primitive savages, even though Saru was shown on the show to be a smart scientist, almost something like Spock. So, how does a primitive savage become a genius science officer? And what do these savages do? They sacrifice themselves to an unseen race called Baul, at least I think. And it's implied that they are dead after they get zapped by their spacecraft thing. And the rest of the Kelpians is okay with it. Why? They aren't sheep, they are intelligent creatures, even though they are cowards. Everybody's cowardness ends immediately when the lives of the cowards are at risk. Do these writers know anything about human beings? They try to explain that using some religious nonsense, but why would an entire race do it? Yes, there were different religious groups on Earth which promoted suicide, but those were always very small fringe groups, not a whole civilization. Saru's father is the main priest, or something like that. He has a robe and he sacrifices his people. And when Saru asks him a perfectly logical question about what is out there, he just flips out and tells him to shut up because he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he gives him a piece of technology. A communication device left there by the Baul. Why did the Baul drop the device? Well, we get a perfect explanation. It happens. Sometimes. Oh cool, it just happens. And why do the Baul not get the devices back? It's not like it happened for the first time, they suggest it happens always. Don't they need their stuff? Are they not afraid that the Kelpians will somehow use it against them? Are the Baul really so stupid? And why do they even come to this planet? What do they do with the Kelpians? What is actually happening? We now get some internal monologue by Saru, and we get to know that he wants more, even though he knows he shouldn't. So, Saru is another Disney princess, just like that Mexican chick from Runaway. Saru manages to fix the device because, of course, a savage can fix a technological device he has never seen before, and uses it to contact somebody else, because, of course, a savage knows how to use an technological device which he never used before. And why does he contact somebody? The only different race Saru knows is the race which kills his people. So from his point of view, 100% of alien races are his enemies. Why does he send a hello to his enemy? And one day he receives a response. Because, of course, always somebody responds to completely random signals. And, of course, the response is in English, and it's an English word, today. And, of course, Saru can read English. And somehow from this message, in a language he shouldn't know, he manages to deduce that he has to leave that night, and he of course knows to which place he should go. I was originally wondering why it was shot using a blue filter, but then I realized that it's probably meant to be night, even though it was clearly shot in the day. When Saru reaches the magic place, another stupid thing happens. A Federation shuttle lands, and he doesn't run away in panic, which is okay, I guess, since he expected it, but the person who steps out is Lieutenant Giorgio, and nobody else. Why is Giorgio the only person on an away mission? Why is a lieutenant the only person on an away mission? Why is she the only person on a first contact mission? And why does this first contact mission even take place? They are a pre-warp civilization. She even says that the Prime Directive forbids contacts like this. Why is she even there? Because she caught his signal randomly? Well, no, she implies that she informed the Federation about it and that it took a lot of work for her to get the permission to get there. Which means the Federation knows about it and actually has some interest in this. Why? Why does she care? Why does the Federation care? Okay, somebody sent a hello, so what? Why is it worth a first contact? Because he is the first Kelpian who managed to use a found piece of technology? So what? Why does it matter? Why does anybody care? Does Starfleet have any special plans with the race? Or do they have any special plans with the planet? Do they need something from the Kelpians? Why are they even remotely interested in a first contact with them? And again, why is Giorgio alone? These missions always consist of multiple Starfleet personnel. And why does she come down in a shuttle? Why didn't she beam down? And no, this is not how a universal translator works. And wow, they are not interested in contacting the Kelpians at all. She doesn't even try to talk to Saru's father, even though he seems to be kind of a big boss there. If nothing else, he's at least a religious leader. Why is Saru the only person who she contacts? And why does she offer him to take him away from his planet? And why can he never come back? Because it's complicated? How is it complicated? Complicated is not an answer. And Saru leaves with her. That's the only thing in the whole story which makes sense, since it was established that he wants something more. So, bravo, you did one thing correctly. Great, you deserve a cookie. So Saru is basically like, screw my father, screw my sister, screw my friends, I'm living with this strange space alien I know absolutely nothing about and who will probably eat me one day. Hooray! And he leaves. That's the end. This is so stupid. It was painful to watch, seriously. Is incompetence a requirement if you want to get to the Discovery writing team? This doesn't fail only as a Star Trek story, or even as a science fiction story. It fails in being a story. It's just a sequence of scenes very vaguely joined together in something which slightly reminds me of a plot. The first short trek was so stupid that I thought that they can't go any more stupid. Boy, was I wrong. Runaway at least looked interesting. As I said before, they started to talk, it looked very good. But what positives can I say about the Brightest Star? Well, they took the lid off the cameras, they recorded both video and sound. Most of the episode was well lit. The actors tried. And one of the things which happened actually made sense in the world they established. But that's not something worth celebrating, or is it? So for those of you who want to hear a number, on my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is absolute garbage, 10 is a masterpiece, and 5 is just average, I would give this episode 0 out of 10. I could give it a 1 for all of the things they did correctly, but it's like awarding a 30-year-old man for not pissing in his pants but putting them down. But as always, these were just my opinions. Let me know what do you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, and I am now preparing a video about the next episode of Classic Star Trek called The Empath. Today is also the anniversary of Star Trek the Motion Picture, so I will definitely do a video about that one soon-ish. The Empath video will be up, in the worst case, on Monday. The motion picture video or videos, well, I have no clue. But thanks a lot for watching and have a nice weekend and see you all very soon. Bye.